7 p.m., June 11th, 2024. I'd like to call the Town of Lake Mills Town Board monthly meeting to order. Notice is posted at the town hall and the town's website. Can we get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Make a motion to adopt the June 11th agenda.
Second the motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Can we get a motion to approve the May 14th, 2024 town board meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve the May 14th, 2024 minutes as written.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We get approval of the treasurer's report.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report for June 2024.
Second.
Any other discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Can we get approval of the town board expense sheets?
There aren't any for
Good.
the town board members.
Can we approve the general fund vouching?
Make a motion to approve the disbursements of $166,332.88.
I second that motion.
Any other discussion on those?
Just one little question, Robin, on the Cambridge community fire. Should that be third quarter instead of second quarter?
We paid it in March. I look back, we paid it in March, and now
Yep.
this is the next time we're paying it.
I had to do the same thing to see what quarter we're actually paying, so,
Okay.
yeah. I haven't seen anything come from
So
them
this is
yet.
the third quarter?
This payment is the second quarter,
Oh,
because we did not make a payment like in January to them.
Right,
Right, okay.
we're paying after the services are provided, basically.
Right, yeah, yep. Okay, all right.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Reports. Police report, Chief Kaminsky.
All right, well, I'm going to do my best to give you an update as I'm getting up to speed on everything. So for last month, there were 72.5 hours of boat patrol time or boat hours. So the boat's in the water, it's all up and running, and we've had a number of officers out on boat patrol on the lake. I went out as well since I'm new to it and wanted to go along and just see how it goes. We had a couple of stops while I was out there as well. So for the month of May, they issued 5 citations and issued 4 warnings while on boat patrol. And the boat has been out this month quite a bit already as well. So again, for last month, for May, 72.5 hours of boat time. We're having a little trouble with a few things, and we're just trying to work out some bugs with some of our forms and documents. Some of the things we just weren't able to find or get connected to properly, so we had to recreate the form for the officers when they're on road patrol. So if this is inaccurate, it may be, but for last month, what I have right now is 5 hours of patrol time out on the road for an officer. And then we had the truck out on patrol during the triathlon as well. So most of the time has been spent out on the boat, and my time has been in here just trying to get up to speed on everything actually. So,
Right.
And that's pretty much it. If you have questions.
nope.
Excellent. Thank
Super.
you.
Thanks. Nope.
Plan Commission, there's no meeting. right?
No meetings, no report.
Fire and EMS report, Cambridge.
Cambridge Fire and EMS, we met on the 29th. The first part of the meeting was we elected officers, and I was voted in as president. Dave Smithback of the town of Christiana was voted in as treasurer, and Alicia Hines, secretary, the village of Rockdale. So anyway, I can say that we have 2 parts. That was the first part. Second part was just went over the budget from the previous month, and no real big changes there. The other thing was I signed the title over to Osco Truck, Tank and Truck Sales for the new tender. Total cost of $237,400. They gave us $20,000 for the trade-in value of the 2002 Peterbilt. Then the fire department donated $50,000 for the 2% of the 2% fire dues towards the truck, and then we got a gracious donation of $167,400 to finish paying off the truck. So there's going to be painless to the municipalities.
What
So
was the last donation? 100 and what?
$167,400.
Excuse me?
Actually, David was 167 even.
Even, okay. I was just doing the math, so.
Okay.
Can you acknowledge who did that?
Oh, it's anonymous.
Anonymous? Okay.
Yeah, so super, and thank you to them. So anyway, then, they've moved back the delivery date. Before, I believe it was gonna be October, November, and now they got it back into August. So it's gonna be a international, that's what it is, so it'd be nice to be back in service.
Excellent. Chief from Lake Mills is not here tonight. I don't see him in the crowd, so is he?
He may come in late and he
Yeah.
just had to jump back.
Yeah. Joint Rock Lake Committee. I don't see Wendy here. So your report there. All right, town chairman report, city, county, state communications, road report, potholes resurfacing. So we're just trying to address those as we can. Mowing, I think he's done kind of south. He started there and he's working his way this way. So a lot to do yet there. Stuff is getting pretty long. So
And just a reminder to tell people need to get those wired
Yard signs out of the ditches.
Areas that need to be mowed.
And especially the people that are putting them in our parks that don't have permission to do so. It'd be nice, because they can't see those, and if they run them over with the mower, it causes a lot of damage. That should be board approved when they want to do that type of stuff for that reason. That's pretty much it for roads right now. We're trying to address Lake Lane in the best possible way to do that. So I know Brian, you from the county is in touch with Corey on that, because it doesn't sound like the county's got a machine that can go up that hill. So we might have to do a little adjustment on that as far as we use for that. Once we know. Update on the grant for Rock Lake Road. I mean, that's all, it's going, and I think Corey's getting ready to get that out to bid here in July. So North End boat launch, we're going to talk about a quick resolution a little bit later here on that. But that looks like it's all ready to submit. Update on solutions for the stop sign at Stockbridge Court and Woodfield Lane. That's in process. Tyson from the county is working on that. As soon as he gets everything, he's gonna do an install on that with a little whirly bird on top. So that's in motion. An update on Creekwood Farms odor issues. I have not heard anything back from the county on that. Parks Committee report. I think they met. Town Hall Facilities Committee report.
We haven't met. I've been trying to get estimates from contractors about updates on this building. It's been a few, but it's like pulling teeth to find more, so.
Okay. Thank you, Rob. Period public comment. This is the time if the general public wants to come to the podium. Please state your name, your address, and keep it to 3 minutes or less. Anyone in the public want to speak tonight? Going once, going twice, 3 times. Application, discussion or decision or request for a special event made by Andrea Vanberg for the Badger Challenge event to be held on September 22nd, 2024. Did you?
So any questions, I'm happy to answer. We're coming back again this year on Sunday, September 22nd. It'll be roughly the same group size anticipated, which is somewhere between 1,700 and 2,000 cyclists total. But of that, I think roughly 500 participate in the 100-mile and 100K events, which would come through Lake Mills. Our course will remain roughly the same, but we'll be headed out on just a few different roads after we leave Main Street and head out of town.
Got Rock Lake Road is under construction at that time of year.
Okay.
It's probably not going to be open till sometime late September. The schedule is between 8:26 and 9:24. It's going to be pretty much torn.
Okay, and I think we come in on Newell to Rock Lake. Okay, well, I will take a look at our maps and just take that into account. We are planning, I know, Upper Tyranina Park and all those repairs are done, so our rest stop will be back there instead of Rotary Park where it was last year. We again have Deer Grove EMS supporting us, just roaming support in this area. But if there are any questions or concerns from the community, we're happy to address any of them.
Yeah, I think it was just that, because that bridge just got everything closed down.
Okay, I'm gonna maybe drive out that way on my way out of town and just take a look
You might
myself.
have to do, yeah, a little adjustment there.
Yeah, and with Wisconsin construction, we're always prepared to
Yeah,
do so.
yeah, okay, excellent.
And have you notified like anybody else, any other jurisdictions that you're?
We're in the permitting process, so we have notified, City of Lake Mills, all of the other municipalities are at least, I think, in stage 1 of our permitting process.
Okay.
And then we have Dane County Sheriff's Department and Dane County Highways alerted as well.
And they're riding, so they're all pretty spread out, and they're just on their own for the most part?
Correct, no roads are closed, they are meant to obey all the cycling laws. And new this year, we did have one issue in the town of Cottage Grove last year with a group of cyclists riding 3 wide, which obviously is against the law. So new this year, they're getting a reminder email to all cyclists only the week of the event. And when they registered this year, they had to sign a new part of our waiver, just reiterating that they are aware the roads are not closed. We are not a race event. We are just a ride for charity, etc.
You have like a sag wagon or something that close the route?
We have a group of SAG volunteers that roams, and then we also hire race day events to do race day support, and they have a chaser truck that goes behind the final riders.
Okay.
Would you be able to send updated maps if you do any changes prior to the event? That way you can make sure Chief gets them.
Absolutely. You have the most up-to-date map now, but looking at the construction that's planned, I'll share an update if one is needed.
Okay.
On most, or all special events, we always require a insurance certificate.
Yes.
So now you have this in the back so that, we're not held liable. So do you have a certificate that goes along with this, or is this going to be the?
Yes, so the indemnification is just required of me, like a lot of the permits require you to sign an indemnification, and because we're also a state entity, we can't indemnify another entity, but we will be issuing certificates of insurance. Those all come out in July, and I'll share that with Rob.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks.
Okay. We get a motion to approve the special events.
I'll make a motion to approve this special event for the ride on September 22nd through the town of Lake Mills.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. I
Get
see the
signatures and I'll email the permit.
Wonderful, thank you, and then I'll be in touch with any map updates or when the certificate of insurance is in place. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Can we go back to the fire chief quickly?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Chief Russ, you want to come up and give a quick update?
Yeah. Good evening. Sorry, a little bit late trying to get troops out on training, but so training tonight, we're focusing out on the lake. We've been out there quite frequently as of lately, making sure all of our apparatus is up functioning out there for the lake tonight. They're doing some dive training and got a lot of new people that have never driven the boat, so getting people out there on that. Weather sirens, we did our annual inspection of the weather sirens. We found that the one out on Upper Shorewood Hills was not working. That one should now be operational. The one on County Highway B, which is across from Terraneta Park, is not operational. That one got struck by lightning. Looking at repairs, worst case scenario, we're about $25,000 to replace that. If it's absolutely completely junk and we have to go the new route, so should be getting that one up and operational, working with Badgerland Communications on that. So I know that there's been some people reporting it's not working. One of the things that I would like to start doing, if anybody would have an interest out in Upper Shorewood Hills or out on Elm Point, to be kind of like a person that reports that it's working, so when they do their county weekly test or monthly tests, that we could have somebody identify that indeed it is working. We're not always available to hear all 6 sirens that activate plus our own. So other than that is the report that's sent out for the calls for the last month, for the month of May. If there's any questions on that, I'd be more than happy to answer them. And then we've got our quarterly meeting coming up in July, so if there's any questions or anything that you guys would like to see, so we got some time to gather information, just go ahead and shoot me an email with that stuff, and we'll make sure we have the documentation for you.
You'll send out a note. It's the 18th, right? Well, that was our tentative date.
Tentative 18th, I don't know if we ever swayed from that, so. And I think were we at 6 or 7? Did we set?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I'd have to look back at my notes.
So I think that was the date that seemed to be available for everybody. No one had any board meetings or
Right.
commission meetings or anything like that at this time, so. All right.
Who owns the siren on
Yeah, that was-
Tyrannina Park? I thought you. I could see
Yours is
Elm Point and.
Elm Point and-
my understanding
Upper
is
Sherwood,
you guys purchased them and then the city maintains them.
We purchased them, that your electrical department wired them and everything, and it maintains them.
So I'm glad you got the memory of that, because that was one of the things we were chasing down as to why all of them have Lake Mills Power and Light on
Yep.
for their locks.
They did it for us.
And that all used to be in the Power and Lights budget, and the Power and Lights has transitioned leadership, and now my budget was the only one with weather siren
I have a
financials.
file on this, so I'll see if there's like, I believe we had an agreement written up on this, so I
Okay.
can send it to you.
Yeah, the only thing that's gonna be done this year to all the remaining ones, other than the one on County B, is the battery backups. Have been in there since 2009, and normally those batteries
Yeah,
are.
that's when they were put in.
So we're getting replacements on all of those.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Yep, you too.
Is it out of order if I were to just ask a question?
Oh, the fire chief?
Or Robin, one of the two, I guess. I'm just curious.
What's the topic?
The siren over here on Highway A goes off at like 6 o'clock at night. And this time of year, that just seems to be, you know, not the best time.
That's
If
a
we're having-
question I can answer.
I didn't know, I mean, you said you had the file on it, so I just didn't know.
That's, yeah, that doesn't cover that kind of stuff, this involves the maintenance.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's going off at 6 o'clock every night?
every night for whatever test.
Which one on A?
Because there's no test that happens at 6 o'clock.
It's a
think
6 o'clock whistle that.
The
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
6 o'clock whistle, yeah, but I don't
Are
know.
you talking ours downtown?
No, this one right here. Whatever, it's, what is it, on top of the,
I hear the ones downtown across the lake.
Yeah, I can hear it. Let 'em
Yeah, the
know.
one that goes off at 6 are supposed to be, I mean, I can take a drive out there tomorrow night and listen to it, but the one that goes off every night, I'm not gonna say religiously at 6, because it alternates with free take
Yeah.
falls
I
on
don't
these
think I can
guys.
hear it that far. I'm 2 miles that way.
You'd be surprised.
Yep.
We can hear it all, but
We
I
can-
can.
It just
Yeah,
seems a
I
little,
agree.
all I'm saying is, it's just, since I moved here, I mean, you know, most places have them go off at noon, not at 6. And when we have tornadic weather, that's kind of when it's gonna come.
It's an interesting history and.
Yeah.
Better than I do, but we've taken it away and there was.
Yeah, it's just always been that
I'll
way.
push back.
There was a
More
lot of
complaining?
pushback to have.
All right, I don't mean to digress,
It's a
I
tradition.
appreciate that.
It's the
but-
6 o'clock curfew, well,
Yeah.
but I will take a ride down there one of these nights just to make sure.
I appreciate
You
the
said it's
latitude, thank you.
every night it's going off?
I swear, I mean, I don't smoke anymore, so I don't go outside as much.
All right.
Congratulations.
Have a good night.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, discussion or decision on liquor licenses for 2024, 2025.
You guys do the first page first?
Yeah, and do the groups under each license type if you can. So like Class A first, Class B, two for that one.
I'll make a motion to approve the combo Class A liquor and malt renewal for Lake Mills Store LLC Mehil Shop, Lake Mills Travel Plaza.
Second.
Any other discussion? You have anything, Robert?
I have nothing to add on that one.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Alright.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
I'm gonna do two separate ones here. I make a motion to approve the Class B liquor and malt renewal for TD Reading Inc., London Depot. And, yeah, we'll go with that for now.
The two separate, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
understand why.
second.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
No, no.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to approve the combo Class B liquor and malt renewal for Crowville Oasis, but we're gonna put a hold on that because they're not paid up with their beverage company. So if Robin finds out that they're paid up, then that license can be approved. Otherwise, it'll be held until that.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Make a motion to approve the cigarette, tobacco, vape products over the counter for Lake Mills Store LLC, Lake Mills Travel Plaza, and Rutabaga Farm Inc., Crowville Oasis, and T&D Ready Incorporated, London Depot.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All so opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Make a motion to approve non-intoxicating beverage license for Lake Mills Store LLC, Lake Mills Travel Plaza, Rutabaga Farm Inc., Crowville Oasis TD Ready Incorporated, London Depot.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Make a motion to approve manager's license for Jeffrey M. Baumgardner, Crowville Oasis, Andrea J. Kuroff, Lake Mills Travel Plaza.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
The operators, you didn't add any, right?
I have two that, one came in a little bit late, Angelina
This one?
Rotando for London Depot, and the background check did get complete for that one, and then there was one for Logan Alprin for the Crowville Oasis, but his application technically is incomplete. And then there was one that Samantha Garcia that needs to submit their certificate yet, and I've notified Jeffrey of that.
So I've done background checks on all of them, there's no issues with any of them. I would make the suggestion, Robin, that we at least get everybody using the same form though, just so it's.
Yeah,
They're
for
not all
sure, a
using
new
the same
form.
form, they must have something in a file, some are grabbing, it's an old form.
Yeah,
And so it would be nice to have them all on the same form for the
and
next year.
there's, each year they receive copies, or I send an email out with the PDFs of all the forms they should be using, and, yeah.
It would be nice, I mean, it almost just, if it's been a year already, then we should just be giving them back and say, use the right form and
Yeah.
then resubmit.
Kick it back, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then I have another question as far as their certificates that they completed the training course, the server training course. I know they don't put them on here, they say they have them. Do you verify that?
I get copies of them, and I keep them on file.
And if they didn't, you would flag that for us?
Right, which I did for that Samantha.
So
Yeah.
that's Samantha one.
She was honest.
Yeah,
Says no.
I think it's in the works is what
Oh,
I think,
okay.
yeah.
Yep.
So I just will hold that one until I receive it.
Okay. And she's not on here, there she is. She is on here.
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the operators licenses for Kaylee Porter, London Depot, Andrea L. Rain, London Depot, Michelle M. Morgan, London Depot, Becky A. Reddy, London Depot, Melania Ye Lemke, London Depot, Danielle E. Wilkin, London Depot, Diana B. Turcott, Crowville Oasis, Leanna
Spencer.
J. Spencer, Crowville Oasis, Kaya Bean, Lake Mills Travel Plaza, Vincent J. Corello, Lake Mills Travel Plaza, Cindy L. Keller, Lake Mills Travel Plaza, Storm S. Chicks, Lake Mills Travel Plaza.
And Angelina.
And Angelina Lily Rotondo for London Depot.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Do you want to make a motion with Samantha Garcia's as a contingency that she submit her certificate? So once I do receive it, I can get it out.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the license for Samantha J. Garcia contingent on getting the beverage server training course certificate to Robin.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Full business, discussion and decision on North End Boat Launch Project revised resolution. So we have a resolution here so we can financial antiquities. So let's read that, right, correct, Robin?
Yes, you do need to read it.
Was there a number associated with that one?
I usually do a date combo, so it'll be 2024-6/11.
Resolution number 2024-6-11, resolution requesting financial assistance from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources and authorizing participation in the recreational boating facilities program. Whereas the town of Lake Mills hereby requests assistance from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources for the purpose of improving the boat launch at Lower Rock Lake Park. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Lake Mills has budgeted a sum sufficient to complete the study or project, and Be it further resolved that the Town of Lake Mills Board hereby authorizes the town clerk to act on behalf of the municipality to submit an application to the Department of Natural Resources for financial assistance, sign documents, take necessary action to undertake, direct, and complete the approved project. Be it further resolved that the Town of Lake Mills Board hereby authorizes the town engineer to act on behalf of the municipality as the construction project lead. Be it further resolved that the Town of Lake Mills will comply with state and federal rules for the programs, may perform forest account work, will maintain the completed project in an attractive, inviting, and safe manner, will keep the facilities open to the general public during reasonable hours consistent with the type of facility, and will obtain approval from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources before any change is made in the use of the project site.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-6-11.
I'll second that motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Discussion or decision of proposed policy for compensation of part-time police officers involved in critical incident while on duty. We were just awaiting any information.
So, I was here for that meeting when Nick proposed this, or you had discussion on it. Just getting to know the department, know the officers that we have working for us. Nobody that I am aware of is working an extended amount of time or hours with our department. The boat hours are probably the big thing, gonna be the big thing through the summer right now, where right now we have a couple officers who have put in, just in May, over 20 hours on the boat, and I imagine they'll easily do more than that during June. When it comes to the critical incident stuff, having them receive a check from us, and I don't exactly remember the discussion of how much was gonna be set aside for something like that.
It was like
$5,000. Yeah.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Per each incident, per
Right.
officer, yeah.
Right. It just seems like a lot.
Yeah.
It just seems like a lot for our township and for the amount of hours that our officers are working and the likelihood of them being involved in a critical incident for what they're doing. So I just don't know that that amount is necessary, first of all. And if we have a critical incident, we would have to, work with our officer to send them to probably a psychologist or, to make sure that they're okay, and counseling and all those things. And I could easily see that we should be reimbursing them for that time as they're getting paid to go to those things. I would think that would make sense, that they're not going on their own time, that they're working for us, that we would pay them for that. But still with that, I don't see that being an excessive amount of time that they would be doing, more than maybe, and I'll ballpark it, maybe 10 hours. If you went to see somebody, talk to somebody, and then follow up visits, things like that. So I'm just not sure that it's necessary. And that's where I'm at with it.
The 5,000 also was supposed to compensate them for their full-time jobs, possible wages, if they were on a critical incident on our time, I think.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And that might be the part that I was missing.
yeah,
yeah.
that was my understanding.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It started out at 10. Nick
And we cut it to
requested
5.
So,
so.
we could do that, yeah.
Yeah, so.
How
It
often-
was approved on April 9th at 5,000. That's what the motion was.
Okay.
So unless you wanted to change that.
Then I wouldn't go any
It's
higher.
already
I wouldn't go any higher than that.
Okay,
So it was approved.
I
April
think we
9th.
just keep it as
Yeah.
is for now.
Yeah,
maybe revisit it if we need to.
yeah.
All right. Moving on, discussion or decision of Cambridge Fire EMS intergovernmental agreement rewrite. Anything here?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right,
I'm
discussion.
sorry, you said nothing before.
Yeah, nothing to report, correct, yeah. Because I'm not really quite sure if the lawyers have you been contacted yet, Tom, about, yeah. so-
They were trying to set up a
No, I
meeting, I
haven't seen
think.
anything. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were trying to set up a meeting and
Yeah,
it's
there's-
it's
just
just
everybody's
nothing.
No
trying to
report on my
coordinate.
end, so.
That's, yeah.
All
That's all
right.
I know.
Discussion or decision of request for Jake Breaks ordinance regulations. I got a message into Brian Yu and I haven't heard anything back, so I don't know. I mean, this is a county highway anyway, correct?
Correct.
So, I mean, the county's gonna be doing it, it's their road, it's not, I think it really falls under the county.
So we're waiting to hear back from the county then, is where we're at with it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we should just make a decision that instead of the county address it. I mean, we're not gonna buy the sign and put it up there. It's not our, it's not our road. It's their road.
I don't,
Well, the county,
Yeah, but it's the county, it's not us. It's the county supersedes the town, so it's,
I understand that, but you're worried about the money for the sign, I'll buy it. So take that off the table. What I'm saying is, this has been an ongoing thing for many years, and the can just keeps getting kicked and kicked and kicked. And maybe we should wait before you table it for the county to take it. Maybe the county says no, it's your jurisdiction. We don't know that, so why would you table it?
well, it's not, it's the county highways. We don't do anything with the county highways. That's not our, we have our town roads. That's where we put our signage. That's what we can do. They deal with all
I
that.
guess I would ask that you just wait on that decision. Because every single time I've come to this board with this issue, all it does for 7.5 years is get kicked down the road. Nobody's taken it to the county. Nobody's ever told me that before. All you do is just keep kicking it down the road.
I mean, all we can do is make a recommendation to the county. That's why I said we should approve something just to make the recommendation to the county that they address the
And
issue.
that's not what I was getting from you. I was getting the fact that you were going to table it or deny it. And
No,
kick it to
I'm not, I wasn't gonna
the
table it. I was gonna say move it to the county because it's their jurisdiction.
Mhm.
That's what needs to happen. Otherwise, it's just gonna sit here.
Well, we don't want that either, so thank
Yeah.
you.
I got a question. In your email a couple years ago, I'll read what you wrote. And I guess I need some clarification,
Okay.
if you don't mind. You wrote, "I would like to suggest an ordinance against engine braking in the town." In the town, you wrote. "I would suggest even just in our area, but am not sure if that can be done." And then we happen to live in the area around the bends on Highway A, which forces trucks to adjust their speed. So you didn't you don't want it, the town, every road in the town, you just are concerned about your area mostly?
Well, I don't know how that plays out. So, yes, I'm only immediately concerned with what affects me and the other people that live there, right? But I don't know if that can be done selectively. So I'm not one that's gonna sit here and tell you that that's what I demand. So I don't know if it has to be town-wide and then reduced. I don't know how that works.
Very, very few towns do it.
That's not
Most-
entirely true.
No, most of them are cities, and what they do is they do it for the entire city. So that's easier because when you enter their city on a,
Then you have this
you have
geographical limit.
you have a sign, so you got everything within that boundary. Here, the ordinance that we drafted, had it at the meeting, last meeting, looked at it, was for Highway A, Crossman Road, and Hope Lake Road. Because I'm sure you're catching noise from Hope Lake Road.
Dump trucks.
Me, you know what, not as much, but I know that there's complaints along Crossman Road, and then through Highway 8, but I think that's a lot of guys that are coming into those facilities, whether it be the one out on Hope Lake Road, or whether it be the one on Crossman Road that are, downshifting and engine braking, these kinds of things in order to enter those facilities, instead of using their brakes. So going to your point, Jim, and I appreciate that, but I don't know of too many other areas in the town, other than this limited area, that has those problems with the road. You know what I mean? And I don't live everywhere, so I can't speak to that. We're kind of unique, I think, with those turns and different things, and that heavier truck presence that's causing the problem.
We hear
Well,
it on
I've
Highway
got-
S on the hill, but this,
What's that?
we hear it on Highway S on the hill because people go up and down the hill in the trucks. That's
Do
just
they
what it
still
is.
do it
Yeah.
there?
And we hear it by our house where the trucks turn down London Road.
It's just, it's awful. I mean,
Well, I live
yeah.
a mile north of the interstate. I get
They do it
every
all the
time
time
they
on the
come off that
interstate.
interstate.
Yeah.
they're
Well,
all,
we can't speak to the
Yeah, along
interstate,
with
right?
that.
I can't.
Highway
control
bumps.
that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So I don't know if you know what, if I appreciate whatever you can do to move this forward. If I have to bend the ear of the county, then I'll do that. What I do know is that there's towns that cooperate with counties throughout the state on this issue. So You know,
Like
Fond du
that.
Lac, as an example.
Yeah.
There's documentation of Fond du Lac Town cooperating with Fond du Lac County in order to do this. You know, Town of Milford has it, that's literally the next town north. You know, I don't understand the roadblock. I don't get it.
Well, the roadblock is, and I'm not gonna speak for Chief Kaminsky here, but as far, it's gonna be enforced by law enforcement.
That's another moot point.
Well, it's not mute,
It
because
really
how are you
is,
gonna
because
control it?
A stop sign is unenforceable unless there's a presence of law enforcement. So you're gonna tell me because you can't enforce this engine braking sign that it's unenforceable?
What I'm saying is, they have to be there. Our focus is boat patrol, it's not land patrol. So the county sheriff's department, it's a county highway, they're
You know,
gonna be the
point of
ones.
it at the bottom
There are
is,
20 staff, there's engine braking everywhere on the highway, I listen to it every night.
the bottom of it is, it's a service to your constituency, to put up a couple signs and reduce the frequency. Like I talked to police, the Chief Kaminsky here the other day. I'm not gonna call an officer out to go chase a truck on Highway A. That would be asinine, and I recognize that. But if I get 5 of them to stop, then the quality of life along that entire stretch of road is that much better.
But once again, it's a county highway, so like I said, the best motion is to get it
Okay, but I
going
live in the
direction.
town, and that's where I began this. I
All
just
right,
keep getting
let's
it.
move it forward.
No, I'm not ready to do that.
Can I get a
Point
motion?
of order, please. Thank you.
Yep. Can I get a motion to make the recommendation that the county puts up a Jake Brick sign on County Highway A? Can I get that motion?
Are we
Huh?
gonna do that in the form of a letter? How are we gonna do this? Are you contacting the
Yeah, it can
county?
be an email. Do it in
Okay.
form of an email. I can email Brian.
Okay.
I will make a motion that the town suggests a, no engine braking sign for Highway A.
Just hate,
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess A and Crossman Road, and Hope Lake Road with the dump trucks.
okay. Second motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, folks.
Discussion or decision of creation of a non-sworn officer position for boat launch permit administrator. This needs to be taken off the table.
Make a motion, to take it off the table.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Take it off the table.
I'm all for it.
Okay.
I'm all for it. I talked to Bob, he's all for it as well, so his certification as a sworn officer expires in July, and he'll be done as a sworn officer. But, Bob and I had a good discussion about, he's out there, every day he's in town, he's checking the launches, he's checking, the envelopes, he's writing citation or tickets. He wants to continue to do that as long as he is able to, and I think Bob has been around this, the township and the PD long enough that we can allow him to do this job because he's doing a real good job with it, so.
So then he's gonna get a printed shirt, correct?
A shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For not so then does he have to have some sort of a credential, a certificate that,
We could have an ID made for him easily
Yeah,
at
don't
the
you think?
county.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
should have something, 'cause
Otherwise-
otherwise they'll.
And we are still letting him keep a radio, carry a radio.
Sure.
So that if he runs into any trouble
Yeah.
at any of the launches or
Good.
somebody gives him a hard time, he can still immediately call into the sheriff's department and
Yeah.
Sure.
have somebody come out.
he has 86,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah,
good.
no, totally.
Happy
Would it
birthday.
make more sense instead of a shirt, maybe like a vest he can put on over whatever he's wearing?
Yeah, there you go.
instead?
That's a good idea.
I could talk to him, see what he would
Yeah.
rather have,
Okay.
either way.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
something to identify him. But again, Kevin and I discussed it, that he should keep a radio as well, because he keeps
Oh,
one
yeah.
at home, because he
Yes.
leaves from home, he goes out and
Yeah.
he does that, during the day. So
Yep.
if he runs into any trouble, he should be able to call somebody for help.
Good idea.
So,
Could I, read this and then approve it and then
get it.
hold a public hearing next meeting?
That sounds like a
And
good
get it
idea.
done?
Yep.
Okay.
Also, the other thing I had, the reason we want to create this position is because it would be a less pay, not police
He's-
officers' wages. That's the way it started
getting
out.
paid
But
at-
I guess,
25 right now, with the old wage. He's at that yet.
oh, So I guess I would be looking for a recommendation from you as far as,
Well, I don't think
What?
he should get paid any less than what he's being paid at this point right now.
All
So
right.
they're doing the same assignment, and if.
yeah, I
if
understand for
when
Bob.
leaves, we could take a look at
Yeah.
a new.
Well,
pay.
like an incentive,
Yep.
step-up program or something year to year for longevity or
Sure.
whatever. So a starting point and then, yeah,
Yep.
that would make sense.
Okay, so this would be the amendment to the town ordinance 1-8, town police department. Add section 1-8-3, parking enforcement. Number 1, a parking enforcement specialist may be hired by the town of Lake Mills Town Board. The parking enforcement specialist will be an employee of the town of Lake Mills Police Department and shall serve at the direction of the town police chief. Number 2, a parking enforcement specialist is authorized to enforce all town of Lake Mills laws, ordinances, regulations, and official signs governing parking within the unincorporated areas of the town of Lake Mills by appropriate state, county, or local citation, and may issue such citations for parking in violation of signs erected at the parking areas located on property owned, leased, or controlled by the town of Lake Mills, whether or not such areas are within the boundaries of the town of Lake Mills. A parking enforcement specialist shall be bonded by the town of Lake Mills, so he or she will be allowed to collect boat launch fees from the town of Lake Mills boat launch sites located around Rock Lake under the jurisdiction of the town of Lake Mills. All launch fees, monies shall be collected and delivered to the town of Lake Mills treasurer during the boating season. A parking enforcement specialist employed pursuant to this ordinance shall not carry firearms or weapons or have arrest authority. Did I make a motion to add that to, or
Second.
move it on to the public hearing next
Yeah,
month?
second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. New business, discussion or decision of purpose of commemorative badge requested by former Chief McSelt. Do you want to explain kind of how municipalities do it, I guess, is that?
So the township has one police chief badge. This is the police chief badge that's been handed down from police chief to police chief, last being with Nick. He is requesting that he would like this badge or another badge that shows that he was the chief of police for the town of Lake Mills. Generally, I can't speak to a part-time chief who was here for about a year, a little bit more. Generally, I'm assuming with Mick's full-time career when he was with Lake Mills and he spent a lot of time there, they probably gave him a badge on his retirement. For this position, I'm not sure, they're not cheap. They're $160 for this exact badge. To have another one made like this would be $160. So he wants it as a memento for his time with the town. So I guess that is completely up to you. You're also going to have Bob Delaney, who was the police chief for the town of Lake Mills for many, many years, who is going to be becoming a non-sworn employee in another month as well. So
Got some option
And
available to
Bob
them.
currently has a badge.
he would have an officer badge, I believe, at this point. I actually haven't confirmed that with him. I didn't want to discuss a whole lot about badges with Bob when him and I were meeting,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
But he was police chief for longer than Mick was.
Yeah, a long time.
I understand Mick wants it for his shadow box and, you know, he's got badges from every place he was chief, but, yeah.
Did he offer to pay for it himself also? Did I
There
see
was some
that
discussion, I
email?
don't remember exactly what it was, if he said he'd pay for one or pay for
I
half
think
of
it was,
one.
yeah,
remember.
that would probably need to be confirmed
Right.
Yeah.
before we consider ordering anything.
I don't know, I think it's, it's kind of a momentum piece. I think, it should be, they should have to pay for it and any administrative fees that go along with it to order it. And just make that open going forward to every officer that wants to do, if you want to do that. But
And I would make the suggestion that if this badge is to go to anyone, that it would go to Bob when he leaves. assignments or duties with us, or even next month, but that's completely up to you as well. But I think Bob, with his time here, is deserving of something as well.
I'll make a motion that if Mick wants a commemorative badge, he purchase it. We'll get it ordered and things, but he's got to pay for it.
Second.
That's on Mick.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
The other, we can't do Bob because he's not.
Not on there.
Right,
Not on
we'll
there.
tackle that one, when we
Yeah.
get to that one.
All right, discussion or something, town hall facility inspection of cross connection.
All right, so this comes up every other year. And Tom, do you recall who we had do it last time? I think you.
I don't remember.
The one thing on here, you go to the cross connection info sheet. Last bullet point says some businesses may be exempt if they have only bathroom or kitchen facilities in the building. So if we get this inspected again, whoever does it should write this letter, which gets us exempt. Because it says, you'll need a short note and a signature with the email, indicating that this is the case. And we only have the 2 bathrooms, we don't even have a
Right.
kitchen.
Right.
We have less plumbing in this building than most houses in the city. So, example letter is, this letter is in regard to potential cross connections at the address, commercial, industrial, only uses water in bathroom, similar to those found in a house. No other water connections are present. And then we don't have to do this every 2 years if they accept that exemption. That's what I would recommend. Make that, whoever we get to do this, master plumber, you can get,
Jensen or somebody?
Jensen do it.
I
They have
couldn't
master
remember who did that.
plumbers.
I mean, yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, but the biggest thing is we wanna make sure they get that into a letter form so we can file that, so we can.
Yeah,
open-
certify that we only
Certify,
have
yeah.
2 bathrooms. And so we should be exempt.
Okay. Yeah, we can't just do that on our own then.
Nope, you have to have
No, I
Master
can make,
plumber.
we can make a motion, I can make some calls to find a contractor and do it.
I make a motion that we call some plumbing contractors to get this certification done.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Discussion or decision of Cedar Lane ditches and stormwater drainage. So there's some runoff over there again. And there's a potential driveway issue, but I think we should have our town engineer assess that situation.
I do too, because you're talking about Daylight Hopes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because she does have a dip in her driveway, but if it's re-ditched from there down to her other driveway that has a double culvert, I think it's gonna eliminate a lot of that water run down the roadside. But yeah, Corey should look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's high. It's high next to her driveway,
Yeah.
and it pushes the water out along the
On the
road.
road.
Make a motion that we have Corey, our town engineer, look at it and give us a recommendation.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Discussion or decision retention pond on Short Hills for estimate of re-engineering. I brought this one up because it just seems like it never gets any better. And, you know, I don't know when the last time that thing was, when it was engineered or properly, if it was even properly engineered. It seems like that mud just keeps coming down the hill and filling that thing up. There's nothing to really stop it.
It's been cleaned out quite a few times, and there is, Jim, if I remember right, isn't there a hard stone bottom in there that generally it's just cleaned down to that very firm?
It would
you know,
make sense.
And it
Clay.
holds a little more water, but,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if the drain has been cleaned out lately, but that goes from one side of the street into that pond. I know it's an ugly area, isn't it?
So you want,
It's an ugly area.
so you want Corey to look at that too? Or-
Yeah, I think, well, at least look at it and see what, you know, potentially could be done and some kind of recommendation. You know, and not that it happens, you know, in the next year or two, you know, that we have some kind of plan for it.
Is there any grants or anything available for that kind of
Yeah.
stuff?
That's something we could ask them too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make a motion to have Corey, town engineer, look at the retention pond, Sherwood Hills,
Second.
phase 2. Or dry pond, I guess it's
Yep,
dry pond.
yeah,
Did you second that?
yep, I did, yep.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Discussion or decision on estimates for replacement of piers. This was a replacement for the Ferry Park pier that would eventually potentially move over to the Elm Point Pier once the North Landing, if that gets approved and that gets done. So we got a couple of quotes that came in late in the game here. Apologize for that. But that was kind of Deal Anderson, but they made it happen over the weekend, so that was great to get it here for the meeting.
So is Somerset, is that the new name for D.L. Anderson?
I'm not sure, well, he's got this Ed guy, I'm not sure who he's
Oh.
affiliated with, but
Okay.
they work together, so.
The one is on wheels, right?
Yeah, I think that was a $10,000 one.
Is that, can you pull that in and out, or
Yeah, that would be a pull in and out one.
that's
which is
40 feet
easier.
long?
40 feet on both of them. But, you know, having to assemble something and pull that out every year, I don't know if you want to go down that road.
Yeah.
What do we do now with the one that's there? They take it out, and then is it
They
stored, or just put on?
Is this pulled
They just
out?
pull it out, because that one's on wheels at Ferry right now.
Oh, it is?
The other one's just on legs, but it's only, it's not very long.
And then they just
No.
store it there at the park?
Yeah, right in the parking lot, yeah.
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 I know years ago, the one that they used to pull out used to sit there along that fence too, so. I mean,
Yeah.
they would sit there. It wasn't 40 feet long though. I don't think. It's a long.
Well, he said this one was, he must have measured it. It's
Yeah, okay.
this long.
The one prior to the one that's there now. I think there was one there before that too,
Yeah.
that you took panels off.
Now,
And they don't last long.
Well, that's a problem. I mean,
would they be doing the install, or are we just purchasing the pier from them? And
No,
then
there's
we
an
would have
install.
to?
there's,
What about any need for permits for this, since it's a new?
because it's new, probably we'll have to file for one. So I don't think you can get grandfathered into that.
Have you seen these, Tom?
But these things are, yeah, I mean, I've got a Shoremaster, own one, so. They're pretty heavy duty, I mean, but the whole plan is to move this thing eventually to Elm Point.
Yeah.
Where it gets a heck of a lot less use. You know, and having our sturdier pier floater down at Ferry. You know, that can take that
Yeah,
type of abuse.
Well, they'll just be handed down.
If it can just be pulled out, there's less labor involved there than taking one apart every fall.
Yeah,
Putting
oh,
it
yeah.
out together, so you're gonna save on the
Because Joe does that,
$2,000.
Joe does that for us right now.
Yeah, and he charges too,
Yeah.
so you're gonna save on labor costs.
Over the
Eat up
next-
that $2,000 in 1 year.
Yeah.
So I'd go with the rolling one on wheels. You want this in there this year, yeah?
Well, it's gonna be a process, so it doesn't happen
Well,
overnight. If we gotta get a permit, and
I'll make a motion to approve the,
might not be stocked either, so.
the RS7 4x whatever, for $10,859.
Second.
Any other discussion?
Money comes out of the Rock Lake.
Rock Lake account, yeah.
So can I just ask a question for you're putting a new pier in at Ferry Park?
We're putting in one to replace one that's heavily damaged
At Ferry Park?
at Ferry
So it
Park.
has nothing to do with the north end launch?
No,
Okay.
nope, that's all by design, and then that'll get bid out, so that's a whole separate process. And that's providing we get the grant.
What is that Ferry Park now? Just a...
It's
not
a roll-out.
It's just a roll-in one.
That's you're gonna replace it with another rolling one?
Correct.
That's sturdier and longer, or just?
It's probably, as far as the quality, it's about the same, but the goal is with the north end launch is to eventually move that floating pier, that's a heavy-duty commercial pier, to Ferry and bump the one we're putting at Ferry over to Elm Point, where it gets a lot less use.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Thanks, good question.
Did you second?
I did.
Yep, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed say nay, motion carries. Correspondence?
We haven't heard anything on Safe Build yet.
I've been asking them,
There's some emails floating back and forth, but they don't really get to a conclusion.
well, it sounds like July 5th would be the end date, because we need to have an end date that everybody knows, so I know when to start relaying people to Troy at the city rather than Safe Built. And then we gotta get a grasp of what permits are kind of out there in process as well, and be able to transfer the information over to Troy. And then, of course, get all the contact information up on Reddit too, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, there was a slow no wake question, but the slow no wake was on and now it's off, back
Right.
off, so. And that's not an exact science, it's difficult to make those decisions, but we did a really good job and communicated really well with the city, so I thought it went really well.
And the city's gonna hang on to their 2 banners that we had made, so if we have to put it back on again, they've got them to be able to put them out right away. But I think, my understanding was at the end of today, they figured they'd be back to that watermark, that's the ideal level.
Yep, didn't get any rain today, so that was good, very little.
Right, no more rain for a while, a little at a time.
All right, discussion of future agenda items.
I noted that we have to have the ordinance 1-8 amendment on for the public hearing and adoption. Anything else for the July agenda that needs to carry over? Or new items for July?
New items, we'll have the intergovernmental agreement with the city on building inspection.
Building
won't we?
inspection.
Should be something with fire coming up pretty soon too, fire contract.
Oh,
For the
that's right, yeah, it's
city?
due in July, yeah,
Well, it should be, yeah, they were working on that.
yeah.
Maybe we'll get that on the 18th
Yep.
meeting.
Okay. Right.
All right, meeting scheduled, July 2nd, 2024, Pine Commission meeting, 7 PM, Town Hall. July meeting, TBA for the Parks Committee meeting, 7 PM, Town Hall. July 9th, Town Board meeting, 7 PM, Town Hall. July 11th, 2024, Joint Rock Lake Committee meeting, 6 PM, City Hall. TBA for the Town Hall Facilities meeting, 6 PM at the Town Hall. All right, that concludes it. We're gonna be going into closed session, so
I make a motion to adjourn the
regular meeting.
regular meeting.
Second.
Any
No,
other-
we do that after.
Oh, we do that after?
Yes, because we have to come back out of closed session, do any action items out.
Oh, because that's part of the closed session, part of this meeting.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right.
It's
Well, he
scheduled that way,
seconded
yes.
it, so we just
Then just don't call the question.
Don't call the question. Yeah.
It dies.
Do you do closed session here?
Yes.
So where does the public go or the closed session be done?
Outside.
Outside.
We have no other meeting space.
So then they'll let us know when you're.
Preferably not listening against the windows.
Yeah.
I'll leave you in charge of that.
Yeah.
Do you care if I work in the office or do you want me outside?
I don't. Robin asked if you'd be gonna benefit sitting in on this thing, but I don't know if you would.
No, it really doesn't have anything to do with the fire department. You can come to our next commission meeting though.
What does she want to come back in just?
I don't care if he sits in the office.
I know that,
union
you're
contract?
fine, yeah, if you want to,
I'll
that's
close the
fine.
door, I'm gonna do a little bit of work that I was trying to finish up in the office.
Yep, you're
Hey,
good.
Tom, thanks
Who knows
for,
what made me
thanks
jump?
for watching the dam down
Yeah, if
there.
you need me, just
Thank you.
yell.
I gotta turn off the cameras and such, but let's convene, or we convene in closed session off camera, right?
No, we should probably do that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, let's do that on camera.
Let's do that.
Then that's.
You can do that on camera.
and then-
All right,
I gotta find my agenda.
convene in a closed session pursuant to Wisconsin section 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, and pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.851E for deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investment of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, discuss competitive bidding for services. Reconvene, okay.
Make a motion to move into closed session.
Second.
Any other
Second.
discussion?
Dave, you second, right?
Yes, I do, yep.
Okay, so let's turn off the cameras and the mics.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We're in closed session.